It's funny how you originally planned some stuff and then it get changed in the last minute. Like review. Originally, I was going to review another My Little Pony episode. When I came across a Tom and Jerry short that I felt like I want to talk about. It's not because the short was bad or anything, but because on what it was about. Let me put it this way. This is probably the only Tom and Jerry short that has gone from funny slapstick humor to a fucked up and sad story. Before we get into it, let's talk about the show first. Now, there's no denying that Tom and Jerry was one of the best cartoons of all time. Part of it was because that most of the jokes came from the slapstick from our two main characters. There was hardly any dialogue, and the slapstick came off as both clever and witty. This gave something for both kids and adults to enjoy and watch. But like most shows that are meant for kids, there has to be at least one episode that is so messed up that you have to wonder what the writers, or hell, the creators were thinking when making the episode. This is one of them. Blue Cat Blues is one of the most tragic and sad episodes out of any kids show ever, mostly because you wouldn't expect it. Now, with episodes like The Mask from Courage the Cowardly Dog, or Brains for Billy and Manny, doesn't really come off that much shocking, because those shows tend to focus more on dark humor. But this episode, coming from a show that's mostly full of slapstick, funny humor, and colorful characters and drawings, makes this episode comes off both disturbing and messed up. Enough stalling, let's just get to the episode. It starts with Tom sitting on the railroad tracks, waiting to be killed. Wow, we're not even a minute in, and already this episode comes off as sad. Before I continue, you might be asking, wasn't there an episode where a duck also tried to commit suicide? Yes. Here's the thing. That episode was still played for laughs, though, and it wasn't taken that much seriously. Let's just continue. We see Jerry monologues as why Tom is committing suicide. Some people might have mixed feelings on it since Tom and Jerry don't talk. I don't mind, since technically he's telling it from his mind, so he's not really speaking. But I think it would be better if there was no voice work in this in general.
I suppose people will say I should have helped him. I know. But it's better this way.
That line right there pretty much sums up on what you're going to see throughout this episode. Jerry explains how he and Tom's life used to be good and how they were best friends. When a sexy cat lady comes by and Tom is really falling in love with her. Now you might think it's not that bad as Tom has fallen in love with girls before, but just wait. This is how some suicides start out. Someone was falling in love with that person, but that person decides to be an asshole to that lover and pushes them too far. So Tom clearly also has a rival too, named Butch. He's a rich cat and can give the lady anything she wants. So Tom tries really hard to give the lady everything that she needs.
Yes, Tom had a rival, but this made him more determined than ever. I appealed to him as a friend to give her up, but he ignored me. Tom was desperate. He squandered all his savings on jewelry. When the jewelry failed to impress her, he signed away his life to buy a car. 312 monthly payments at 112% interest. It cost him an arm and a leg, but he willingly sold himself into slavery.
You can kind of see why this episode is coming off as disturbing. Tom is basically selling everything that he can in order to make his girl happy, to the point of Butch always winning her, and also to the point where he's finally married her.
Tom went downhill fast after that. He started drinking. That was what got him.
I've known people that has done stuff like this before, and it's not because of love. It might be because for many other reasons. You can try all you want to help the person feel better and to stop them from whatever it is they're about to do, but it might not work. My aunt committed suicide because she felt worthless. Hell, I'm sure that's what caused Wario or Robin Williams to commit suicide. Okay, I admit that it's too soon, but you get the idea. Jerry ends the story saying he's gonna get married, but she also cheats on him as well. So now, Jerry gets depressed and decides to join Tom on the railroad tracks. And the train is coming, and the short just stops. This episode, I don't have words to describe my feelings towards this episode. Like I said, it's not because it's bad, but the fact that this was made, produced, and put on television just blows my mind. I mean, this was made when Tom and Jerry was still very popular to kids and adults. If this was the second short for them, then maybe I wouldn't be that disturbed by it. But the fact that it did happen during a time when there were fans of the show really is shocking. Like Mr. Enter said, just because the show does something shocking or disturbing does not automatically make the episode bad. It just depends on how it's played. And let me tell you, Hanna-Barbera really knew how to deal with this right. They knew that if they played this just for laughs, it would probably get lots of hate mail, so them taking it seriously and sad as they could was a smart move for them. And even though people said this is the last episode, technically it's not. Hanna-Barbera still made some more after that. It's just that this episode was rarely seen on television because of its theme. Look, I love Tom and Jerry, but this short really makes me think about them in another way, a way I have never thought before. You know, this episode is sad as it already is, so I'm just going to end it right here. Maybe a top 10 list might help me. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Take care.